Yeah, I see no limits. As an individual, obviously there were a lot of good moments last year, and we always have to be ambitious and not rest on kind of the successes that you might have found on the field at a given moment because you know it can be taken away the second you get a little bit complacent. But that also goes to the team, right? We won MLS back. We hit a really good stride towards the end of the regular season, I would say. And then obviously a little bit of a disappointing result against FC Dallas. The way that we lost, it was just so emblematic of our season, giving up goals late in games. So now that we've seen the height of where we can go to, winning tournaments, being a team that's really feared, but also the lows, which is wasting all of our good work, we need to maintain the high level, maintain what has made us feared last season, and really try to sustain that for a long season. I think we've got a talented team. We've got some new guys in who we're starting to get more and more familiar with by the day. And so just got to take it day by day, knowing that if we do happen to hit a rut, we've been there before, but ultimately when we do find form, we got to maintain this. Yeah, I think a lot of us were feeling a little bit anxious to get going. This was the longest off season that we've had as professionals, almost a little bit reminiscent of being in college where your season ends in October and then you've got winter break and then you're getting back into shape, late in the winter, early spring. So being able to be back out in the field, everyone past their quarantine period, and just being able to train, it's been, although it was our first day, it's been beautiful. And again, I think there's some connections that are forming, and there's going to be some exciting stuff coming from us on the field. Yeah, I think most important is to win championships wherever I'm at, whether I have the chance to play in CONCACAF qualifying, whether it's the Olympics, whether it's Gold Cup, or wherever I have the chance to be on the international phase at a club level. It's putting my team in a position to be successful and to win. So as a striker, or maybe as a winger, depending on where I'm playing, that's going to mean getting goals and being efficient in front of goals, setting guys up. But building on what I've done in the last couple of years and finding ways to create even better chemistry with some of the other guys coming in. I think for me personally, it's about finding your rhythm of play. The way my season ended last year with a concussion, followed by an off season where I really tried to relax and let whatever might have been left over just really fizzle out. It's been a little bit challenging to find a rhythm again. I think in camp earlier in January, that was one of the things I struggled with most. For the first part of camp, not being completely in sync with my teammates and just processing information. Although I felt healthy, it just felt like I hadn't played the game in longer than I would have. And it felt like the break was a lot longer than I would have had, and it just was a lot more of a process to get back in shape and get back in the rhythm of the game technically. So for me, however long this preseason is before CONCACAF Champions League, it's about feeling comfortable on the field, feeling free in my movements, not feeling so rigid, feeling like I have to be in a certain place and then being disappointed when I'm not there. It's just finding the game like it's come to me over the last couple of years and executing when I get in those positions and building confidence. To be honest, no. Uh, this is a really challenging situation for everyone, not just in our industry, but we can't allow ourselves to get overwhelmed by the situations outside of our own individual health and safety. So I'm just trying to take it day by day and understand that there's going to be more bumps in the road that pop up, whether for myself or people around me. And then when those do pop up, just trying to handle them really methodically and uh, from an emotionally level playing field. Yeah, I think that the time for me to become the man, so to say, was last year. Uh, Seeing a lot of faith put into me with a new contract, a long-term contract. I took a lot of responsibility in knowing that I didn't want to be one of those guys who got to that new deal and fell off right away. That's not the personality that I wanted to be associated with, someone who was just content to be where they were at. So I look at this year as just another year to get better, to push myself and my teammates. I think we've got a lot of guys this year that are hungry, guys who maybe didn't play as much as they would have liked last year, or maybe felt that their level wasn't as high as it had been in the past. So that's the fire that we need from every guy that's going to push, more established guys or guys who have played more minutes over the years. And hopefully it's going to lead to uh, trophies and just general success. Yeah, I think our team environment itself and team chemistry is one of the few things I think that didn't really take a hit in the pandemic. For whatever reason, maybe it was that time apart at the beginning where we were at home and unable to work out together and play. We were really appreciative of being back out in the field, even in group settings where we weren't allowed to really interact too much. And then going into the bubble, I mean, the challenges of the bubble are well documented, but through it all, we didn't get in any serious arguments or fights or anything like that, which is pretty abnormal for any time you're on a long trip. So I think that our team spirit and chemistry only grew throughout the year, and it made it so by the time we got onto the field at home or away in regular MLS season play, we were playing with a little bit more confidence in each other and spare the 4 game span where we were struggling right after the bubble. It really reflected on the field just how freely we were playing together. Yeah, I think at every time you step onto the field, especially after an off season where you have the time to really evaluate where you're at, the progress you made, and then still some of the aspects that still need improvement, you're going to want to continue that upward climb, that maturity, so that it leads to more individual and team success. So I'm looking forward to finding different elements of my game and hopefully rounding me out as a more complete player. It's gonna be a long year, right? No one knows how it's gonna play out, what how the pandemic is gonna affect the league. But as long as I'm out there, it's all about just giving my max effort and hoping that the effort that I put it in the off season and the effort that I'll continue to put in on a day-to-day basis pays off. And I know that again, the guys here are really motivated and have been of the same mentality too. I think sometimes it's challenging to really conceptualize and understand how far you've come from whether it was college or as a rookie or second year, wherever it might be, because we're just so ambitious and we're always looking for that next level, that next step in our individual game. So I don't know how gratifying it is. I don't think everyone really has been able to acknowledge my growth and values it in a certain light, but I know what I've done. I feel confident. The club is very confident in me as well. They know that there's more to give and they're always pushing me, making sure that I stay hungry. So ultimately, again, it's about finding the balance of being happy with how far I've come, but also knowing that there's just a ton more to give. And if I ever get complacent, there's a lot of guys that either are here now or will be here to take me off my high horse. So I'm hungry and not resting on anything. Yeah, I think Eric's the guy who I've spoken with a number of you over the years saying that he's ready. He's been ready and he finally got his chances, at the end of 2019 and in 2020 took them. And similarly to me, the club saw what he brought to the table and rewarded exactly that. So I'm really happy for him. And again, it's that challenge for him now, making sure that he got the contract, he has a little bit more stability. Can he push on? Can he show even more consistency, even more of a threat in games? Because I just talking to guys around the league, they're also now noticing how good he is, and so it's for him to keep staying grounded, but pushing on and really taking control of that midfield alongside Chara. Because when you look at Chara, a guy that no one in this league wants to play against, and if they say they do, they're lying. Uh, you have the opportunity to build someone just like that with a slightly different skill set, but their complementary pairing is really special. And I'm really looking forward to how they grow together and how that helps us going forward.